Exploring the brilliance of autism. How often are you walking down the street and you notice someone next to you who seems to have autism, and your first subconscious reaction is don't stare, don't stare. Am I staring? Don't stare. Hi, I'm Jacob DeAlto, and today I'll be discussing with you the misconceptions about autism, as well as how to see people with autism for the true brilliance that lies within them. Having a reaction like this is completely normal, and on the surface comes from you simply trying to be polite, but deeper than that, it comes from your lack of knowledge about autism. What I hope to show you today is how to better understand someone with autism and the best ways to interact with the person, not with their autism. I would first like to start with what autism actually is. It is defined as a developmental disability significantly affecting verbal and nonverbal communication and social interaction. My journey into the world of autism began when I was just 11 years old. My friend's mother was a volunteer at a wonderful organization called Friendship Circle that happened to be looking for some younger volunteers. She asked if I might want to give it a shot, and I said yes. At the time, I had not fully grasped the concept of what I would be volunteering for, and had no idea what was ahead of me. Friendship Circle's mission is as follows. Friendship Circle creates friendship in the lives of individuals with special needs and those facing isolation while providing an opportunity to become a contributing member of the community. Through our programming, Friendship Circle aims to promote an inclusive community that values all individuals regardless of the challenges they face. The first time that I stepped into the building, I have to say I was very intimidated. Never had I been exposed to so many people with autism, and I felt very apprehensive to talk to anyone, volunteers or campers. I was surrounded by a bunch of high school aged to middle-aged people who all seemed to know what they were doing. And then there was me, an 11-year-old with no experience, just standing there taking it all in. The first kid I was ever assigned to was named Gabriel, who was a very high-functioning 8-year-old with autism. We spent hours playing board games, basketball, making art, and many other activities. After just my first day of working with Gabriel, my confidence skyrocketed. Now here I am, 6 years later, still volunteering every week. The reason I told you this story is because, as with everything, starting out might seem scary or intimidating, when in reality it is not. Many people, including some experts on autism, use the term autistic behavior when referencing a tic or other abnormal actions someone with autism may make. Why am I mentioning this? That is what they are doing, isn't it? They can't control it. It's just sometimes they do weird things, right? No. Everyone in life deals with stress, and everyone has their own ways of coping with it. Some go for runs, others will draw. Autistic behavior is simply that. It is an autistic person's way of dealing with the dysregulation that they feel. Where it is true that a person with autism becomes dysregulated more easily, it does not change the fact that it is their way to find control in the situation. Some schools and some parents try to train their kids to not do these actions, thinking that it will make them more normal. But actually, it is taking away the only control they feel they have over this crazy world. I have recently had the pleasure of reading the book Uniquely Human, written by Barry M. Present, which further enhanced my knowledge on the subject of autism. It makes so many experiences I have had clear, and really changed the way I communicate with people with autism. Dr. Present bases the entire book and his entire professional life around a model he and a few of his colleagues created in regards to autism. It was designed to be a sort of progression system to be followed when teaching someone with autism, but I believe it can be followed by everybody. It is called the SCIRTS model, and it means the following. SC, social communication, the development of spontaneous, functional communication, emotional expression, and secure and trusting relationships with children and adults. This basically expresses the importance of listening to the person with autism. A time I've experienced this is when a very important person to me, Justin, and I first met. Justin is a very kind-hearted 19-year-old boy with autism. Justin is in love with the game show Deal or No Deal to the point where his most recent birthday party was themed after it. He had a birthday cake shaped like case number 19 and everything. He even had a custom shirt with his face next to the game show's host. The first time we met, I did not know this, nor did I know that he, every day, liked to ask the question of which case the $1 million was in. At first, I had no idea what he was talking about, as I hadn't put this seemingly random question into the context of his infatuation for the show. However, the more and more I hung out with him and learned this unique liking for the show, and the more and more I was asked this question, I was able to piece together that whatever the day of the month it is, will be the case that the $1 million is in. Social communication is about talking to the person and really trying to learn why it is they do certain things, rather than playing it off as random behavior. ER, emotional regulation, the development of the ability to maintain a well-regulated emotional state to cope with everyday stress, and to be most available for learning and interacting. This is a big one for anyone who is communicating with autism. Sometimes the repeated and never-ending questions that a kid may ask will begin to agitate you and may make you feel like you're losing your mind. But it is very important to stay calm and maybe even try to lead the conversation in a different direction. If you know any interest that they might have, try to ask some questions about that. This is important especially if the child is having a breakdown for seemingly no reason. It is important to try to communicate with them and try to learn what it is about the environment that may have triggered such an episode. TS, transactional support. This represents the support a parent or teacher must give to a child with autism in order to help them strive and better communicate with themselves as well as others. For this, it just means that they need support same as we do, and to deny them of that because of your lack of experience can really isolate them. A point that Dr. Prezant made in his book is that it is important for families with an autistic child to find other families like theirs to form a community. But I want to take this a step further. I want these small communities to be opened up. I want a world where everyone is understanding of everyone's abilities. I want a person with autism to be able to walk out into the world unjudged and be able to live as comfortable a life as they can. Thank you.